now, since it's 11 o'clock, it's time to get started. And what game are we playing? Frostpunk. So this is the very cold weather survival strategy. I'm all over the board as far as games go. Maybe later on I'll crystallize sort of into a typical game of sorts to play. But for now, I'm gonna try my hand at this, and I think I'm gonna try my hand at some harder difficulty games. But hopefully the audio is good. Obviously it'll change as the game goes on, because right now things are pretty quiet. But boom! That might be actually really loud. Let's tone that down just a smidge. Maybe that's good. So I've got the game I'm going, but obviously that's just poor showmanship to just jump into something I'm already going. So not endless, we're gonna select a scenario. And this will be good practice. I know Kay, that you probably have to work and do things, but I'm still gonna try and engage with you anyway because you're the one person I know is here. So no pressure to respond or anything if it feels like I'm reaching out, but gotta think, what scenario are we going for? So the arcs is considered, I think, and I'm glad you have it up. I really appreciate you watching, and it is fun. It's fun to stream, and I'm glad it's fun to watch. But as far as scenarios go, getting into the meat of the stream, as it were, there is the arcs, which is considered the easiest one, but one of the most philanthropic, which is kind of fun, of a sorts. So there's the arcs. The refugees is pretty tough. You got a lot of people to take care of, and you start off pretty rough. The Fall of Winterhome is the hardest, and these two I don't have unlocked. Chat is lively today. It is. Lemons, thank you for tuning in. It's mostly just myself and Kay, as I am referring to her as, but this is the chat we have going so far. So the last two are no-go, but today we are streaming Frostpunk, at least for a bit. There is the possibility of really getting crazy and switching it up part of the way through. But as of right now, tweaking the audio a little bit more. I should stop playing with that. We'll leave it here. For better or for worse, this is where we're at. But I've got 3 scenarios: the arcs, the refugees, and the Fall of Winterhome. One of these I'm gonna run with for a bit. But chat, any preferences? Anyone want to pick one? If not, I'll just throw one up at random, and we'll see how it goes. But I might tweak the difficulty too a little bit. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, all this stuff is brutal Dead of Winter type vibes for certain. So absolutely that kind of vibe. Let's see. No, scenario, select difficulty later. Alright, leaning towards Winterhome, but I don't know the game at all. No, Winterhome's actually the one I'm most familiar with right now. And since pretty much 50-50 pick immediately. It is a cool name. It is a tough one, and I think it's one of the meatiest ones to get into as well, as it's got the most sort of arcs, high and low of story beats. But we'll go with this one for now, the Fall of Winterhome. So we'll start with that. And then this one I have yet to like. So there's the difficulty settings here. I have yet to beat this one in the best form, because there's like different endings you can get, not always just the straightforward, you know, victory screen and losing screen. There's like different sort of outcomes within the entire scenario. So I'm gonna keep it on medium, because I have yet to save everyone in this scenario, and I see it as saving everyone is a true victory, the sort of best ending, as it were. So we're gonna start with that. I don't know about economy, people's needs, whether we're gonna keep it all on medium. We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna dive right into it. So here we go. When installing additional heaters, more power means higher coal use. Unfortunately, we are deep in the coal usage for this. The situation is bleak. But we are going with it. And while this is loading, I'm going to do a quick check. And I'm going to make sure that on the back end that things are coming through okay.
To whoever is out there, if anyone, know that we were here. We did our best.
And this is the intro to the scenario.
We, the survivors, doomed price to pay. We took our last chance. And we failed.
Very dramatic start. So, funny enough, there's a main story, which if I was doing an episodic thing, I would start with, of course. But this is actually a town that you find in the... Yeah, it is very steampunk. Okay. But actually, this is a town that you find in the main story that has already failed. And so we are sort of playing through the prologue to the main story of what happened in this neighboring city in the fall of Winterhome. Our generator is malfunctioning. A previous leader ignored the problems for weeks. Unbearable cold, repression, very dystopian scenario. He didn't go down without a fight. Half the city was burned to the ground in the fighting. So we are not just picking up in a bad scenario, but like post-revolution, everything's in chaos. With the generator patched, first task, as I am the new leader, to restore Winterhome and convince people that it has a future, because as we will see, people are not very positive about the situation. But then just fixing out the city is one thing. Then you've got to actually sort out what's going on wrong with the generator. So here we go. Here's our great city. A lot of fire, a lot of rubble. Not a great situation. So before we get into really much anything, we've got a lot of stuff to sort out. So restore the city. Suffering in this badly planned, starving, half-ruined city, you have to restore their hope and quell their discontent. For a start, we have to remove the charred ruins to show that the city is recovering, so we got to get all this rubble out of here. And then our engineers will inspect the generator once you deal with the present crisis. So, first thing we're going to do is pause, do a quick run through. Here's our temperature, starting off at negative 30 degrees Celsius, so it's already pretty chilly. Down here we have our people. We've got 580 people with us so far. 35 are amputees that can't work. There are... Not sure why there are 9 children. They're prohibited. But unfortunately as well, due to the law book, the Book of Laws, we're running... There's different laws you can pass to run the city. But unfortunately, our previous ruler already passed some laws that aren't so great. So rather than having our the children of this city being safe or helping out in other ways, they are doing all labor jobs, which can get them hurt. So I personally don't... it doesn't benefit to have children die or working these dangerous jobs. We have enough workers, so I keep them relocated to safe jobs where I can. Working in cookhouses or gathering posts is pretty safe. Rather than burying people in cemeteries, we've just got a pile, which is sad, and then a couple of things to help with discontent, such as a fighting arena and a public house. But other than that, we don't really have any laws that are super helpful. So first and foremost, I'm going to go with radical treatment, because starting off, there are 11 gravely wounded people, and unless we pass some law to try and help treat them, they're just going to remain untreated and can potentially die. So we're going to start with radical treatment. And then now we've got our resources. Good news is we get steel and wood for clearing rubble. And we've also, thankfully, got coal coming in. So here's our little map of the area. And we've got, thankfully, from a coal mine, we've got a transport set up to deliver 800 units of coal. I don't know exactly how often that arrives, but I do know that that will keep us going for a while without too much coal income, which is good. But right now our biggest problem is all these snow-covered tents are very flimsy protection for people. So we need to get these places heated. So here's the generator. There's also steam hubs, which will help out providing warm areas, we'll see. As I'm going to turn it on, we're going to start with steam level 1, +1 temperature range. This will consume 12 coal per hour with a range of 2. So we're going to start with that. And now we need to get people to work. So we're going to fill this out, cookhouse, get people in there, kids, thankfully. they can work it while keeping other people open for other things. But with all these injured people, first thing we're going to need is a lot of medical treatment. So we're going to fill out all these medical posts with engineers, skilled workers that can help out with that. Boom. Another cookhouse. We've got food, thankfully, raw food to turn into meals, but that's going to have to go. These are coal thumpers, but we don't need that. So we're going to clear this stuff out of here. And then we are going to need to have people bringing in more food soon. So these hunting huts we are going to staff right away. We don't need this, but this gathering post, you can see gathering posts help like organize excuse me, organize clearing of areas, so you can staff them here and people will clean out all the rubble. But otherwise we're just going to get kids in the safer inner ring where they'll be warm while they pick through this debris, and then we'll have the adults go further out, the adult laborers. Got that staffed. And this, unfortunately, the start to this one, there's so much to do that you end up spending a lot of time sort of reorganizing before you even begin. So what I'm gonna do, oh yeah, now that we've got our tech staffed, we're gonna start some research, and first and foremost we're gonna need better gathering so we can start clearing this rubble better. But we'll go through that as we go on. Coal thumpers are not like Bible thumpers. Coal thumpers are, so there's your traditional coal mine, which is actually down here, where you can build a standard structure and pull up coal. But you can also build a coal thumper, which will dig deep down into the earth and pull up coal from anywhere. But they're really inefficient because they pull the coal up, but they don't add it to your resource stockpile automatically. You have to actually have someone in a post nearby gathering, picking up the actual pieces of coal. So they're very labor intensive. So I generally don't use them unless I have to. And thankfully, because of this transport of coal, we don't need that. So we are going to scrap those, and then speaking of, as they said in the intro, mismanagement, the roads here are terrible. There is so much area that's wasted to road that doesn't need to be. So I'm just gonna take a bit here, and we're just gonna clean out some of these roads that we just do not need. Get rid of all that. Even that little end up there. And then what I'm gonna do is, in case I lose, I'm gonna save this once this is done. So I don't have to redo all of this stage. Yeah, so the really cool thing, and this is true for all of these scenarios, is the way that the city is laid out is the generator, generator is the core of the city. It provides your heat, and I actually am going to let it play because you can see that the heat radius will, here's our warm sort of center, and then you see this sort of slashed line. That is the area that is warmed by the heat. So you can see that it doesn't show it on the ground here. You'll see what buildings are affected. But what you've got is you've got this radial sort of heat core that you use to keep your city warm and alive. And so everything is built out radially, which is pretty nifty. It's one of the first things I saw about this game that really got me interested in it, was its unique sort of building layout. Should have left that, but that's okay. And then we need to, where is it? That can stay. This, oh my gosh, this. These can be cleaned out. I think it's nifty. And then one other thing is you see these steam hubs are providing their own heat zones when the generator's on. So here's our sort of warmed area. The cool thing is this makes it warmer and safer for people to pick through the debris out here, which is nice. And I think it does make, is it this one? Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait on that. But since no one's working out here, since no one's living out here, we keep this relegated to working hours, so we don't waste the coal by having it run 24/7. These ones will need to run 24/7 because you've got people living out here, but we'll sort that out as time goes on. So let's see, more things to do, gathering posts. So right now, all these buildings in white are all of the many ruins of this city. And they are like little warming posts, the steam hubs. I gotta get in the habit of checking chat faster. So quick. But anyway, all these white buildings are scrap and rubble that needs to go. So I need to set up posts to make it a little bit more efficient for clearing it out. The inner ring's not too bad. I can have people just standardly working on that. There's this here. So we've got those. We'll staff those once they come up. I'm gonna keep cleaning out these things. We've got people doing that. Alright. Houses here. More roads. Oh my gosh, these roads. This is the worst in city planning. We'll try and fix this before the day is done. And then where is the one other thing? There's one last thing I'm thinking of. Snow pit. So unfortunately, eventually our heat zone will get so far out that the snow pit, which is where unfortunately due to the law for corpse disposal, is gonna stink. Can I move existing posts? So you're talking about, if you're talking about these steam hubs, oh, gathering posts. So what, you can't necessarily move them, but you can build a like unlimited number. So what you can do is I can just throw them down, and then as they clear out their area, once they're done clearing all the debris, I can just take them down. So that'll help me kind of stay mobile and clean out more and more areas as it's going on. So we've got that cleared, that's cleared. I think we'll have to start with a couple more roads we don't want. Little things here and there that we can use to save wood. It's also nice because scrapping these will save us wood. We'll get us some wood back once we take them down. That can be working hours. Working hours. And I want to make sure, I've still got lots of people, so I want to make sure that everybody is working out of the gate to try and keep things moving and get things torn down as quickly as possible so that we can start salvaging this utter mess of a city. But we'll get there. We will get there. There are people living there, so we'll keep that in standard time. Get these maxed. And I'll have people working out here too, why not? So now that that's about everybody working out of the gate that needs to, we're gonna do a quick save. We're gonna start a new save. And we're gonna call this, let's see, what do we want to call it? Fall of Winterhome stream start. Oh crap. Well, letter cap got me, but we can shorten that down. Start. Don't look, it's ugly. Hideous. But that's okay. We're moving right along. We've got everything started, so now finally we can have things go. So generator's warming up. Everything's there. We're gonna start building and trying to save this city. 25 wood, and hopefully the wood comes in soon because I've got 20 sick people that are not being treated. And boy howdy would I like to help my people. So we'll let the wood come in. We'll speed it up a little bit more. Resting time. It's still the early morning, so not a lot's happening, but once we hit, as you can see from the working hours on these, 8 o'clock, things will start happening. And now that we've taken some things down, actually I'm going to pause it, because I always like to make use, although I should get in the habit of leaving things at 1 speed. I want to get in the habit of keeping things running, but what we need is more workshops. So the other way to proceed with tech is we need our workshops going. We've got engineers that have not been employed, but first, speaking of employing engineers, get these medical posts going. Speed it up a little bit so we can try and get more people treated. Work time, things are going up. Their resources are climbing. The coal is waiting to be dropped off once our stockpile gets low enough. So all things considered, well, all things considered, we did just start, so only so much you can do with that. So our gathering posts, you can see here, are up, but I actually don't have the staff to put in them yet. But what I do have is the ability to treat some more people once these get built. Oh boy. See, this looks very cold. These tents laden in the snow. It's no good. Oh, so this is an event. Something just popped. Let's see what it says. Help the amputees. Do less harm. A doctor wants to speak to you about improving radical treatment. So we just passed that law to try and help people. Field surgeon in the Boer War worked in the Royal Science Society, with the Royal Society, to reduce the rate of limb loss in army hospitals. Devise a method that will cut the number of amputations. Well, that sounds fantastic. So he won't be able to work, but a hope will rise, and that hope rising is really important, because as you can see, restoring the city, turn the generator on, remove at least 30 ruins, and then I need to raise hope to 50 and reduce discontent down. So this is one of the most important things I haven't talked about that we have to juggle is discontent and hope. The city is pretty sad with the state of things, which is understandable. So if we're going to keep this city going, need to sort of earn people's trust. Convince them that I am the individual ready to run this city. And to do that, I am going to need more of just about everything. So I'm going to do now, as mean as it is, we're going to clear that home so I can get another tech building. And then for now, there's warm zones up here, so I'm going to throw a replacement building up here for them to live in. You can see we've got 10 homeless. Faster gathering just got researched, which is good. There's a lot of sick, so the next thing I'm going for is improved tools and methods, help people in medical posts, heal the sick 10% faster. We're definitely going to get that, because we're going to need these people to get treated, because while they're sick, they're not working. And boy, do we need them working. Oh my goodness. That got cleared out super fast, which is nice. So now I have the laborers. We're going to throw them in these gathering posts so they can start pulling down the debris around them. And something happened. Cold homes. So this one is really hard to do because they want to keep these warms, but I need to start heating 16 of the cold homes within 2 days and keep them heated for 2 days. That is just a really hard thing to do. So as much as it's, and I can't even heat 33 cold homes. It's not possible. It is too much of a mess. So even though it raises discontent even more, I'm going to ignore that request, and we are going to keep trugging along. Speed things up. Good news is we're treating people pretty well. And with that, we actually have everyone treated, which is really good. But the problem is with these cold homes, people are going to get more and more sick. So we are going, something's got to give. Something's going to have to change. We're making meals. People are being fed. Actually, this is not too bad of a start, all things considered. So now that home's clear, workshop. We're going to start reorganizing our sort of industrial, or our research corridor. I'm going to go back here for more stuff. And what do we need? So right now discontent's pretty high. Every meal slightly lowers discontent with moonshine. And to save on food, I can even go for soup, and it'll cause less discontent, because soup people will get pretty unhappy about. But we're going to save that. Start with moonshine. Start bringing the discontent down. Should be good. So we're just getting our people drunk. Do what you gotta do. most important thing though is going to be clearing out this inner ring. Oh boy, and you can see it's middle of the night and there it goes. More and more sick people. Because they're trying to sleep in just this frigid weather. We're going to deconstruct that, and we're going to shift it over. And then there's one final thing we're going to do. We're going to make scouts, because we don't live in an existing vacuum. We've got to discover and find more things that are useful around us. So out go them. Already answered that question. Gotta get in the habit of chat. Even though chat's pretty slow, because it's like 2 people here. Gotta be on top of it. But we're moving right along. So free time right now, nothing's happening. We're gonna speed through that on speed 3. The people are very sad. That is understandable. Oh, and it's gotten colder. Oh no. Oh boy. And now medical posts aren't working unless we run the heaters, or they're in a heating zone. So things are just getting more and more dire as the weather has taken a turn. Here's our little weather predictor. Good news is it'll get warmer in a day and a half-ish. Lemons, it can be very stressful, but that's part of what I like about it. You gotta work hard to keep people alive and keep them warm too. So right now there's people picking, actually I'll shrink it back down so you can see there's this snowflake symbol, means people are working in very cold environments. They're likely to get sick and injured, so we're going to increase the heat zone, get the people that are working out there a more comfortable situation while they tear down this terrible mountains of steel and scrap. Ah, that's not in the heat range. What about this? What about this? That's not in the heat range either. Oh boy. What do we got here? Some ruins cleared. They've noticed the ongoing effort and appreciate it. Oh, I need that hope. I need that hope. So we will take that. Alright, awesome. And now, as you can see, the long list of wooden ruins cleared. We've got some inner areas clearing up, which is good because I need to get these people out of the cold. So to do that, we're going to start building homes in this ring of new kind of space. Whoops, not a house. So I'm using bunkhouses because there is 3rd level heating, but that's a lot of resources, specifically a lot of steel. A voice in the ruins. Sir, we have heard a child's voice coming from the wreckage. A child has survived the terrible night of destruction when half of Winterhome was burned. So many lives were lost in the blaze and the fighting. We can't let this child die too. We absolutely cannot. So the good news is we already have a gathering post that was working on that building, but now we need to get people square on it. Gotta get that child out of there. Oh my gosh, Kay. The steel looks like half of... Oh my goodness. Don't worry, we've got all hands on deck. We've got a team that's been working it down, and now we've got 15 people dedicated to getting them out. So fingers crossed we will get them out alive. And then in the meantime, while we're also fixing things, we're gonna put down a new heating zone because I can't get all these people moved. We need to get that warmed up. Where did that steel ruins? Okay, we're clearing that out. Do I have a gathering? No, that's just the heating zone. Although, yep, so here's this little corridor. We're gonna throw that right there to take care of that. We will save the children without a doubt. More wooden ruins. Where was that at? Nice! More of the central sort of area. Some more bunkhouses. This road, we're gonna tear down this road because I feel like we can. Yes, they all fit. Perfect. Do what we can with the space that we have. So now that those are clear, people don't always move when they need to, so we're gonna deconstruct. We're gonna look for the snow-covered tents, and we're gonna tear them down until we see homeless people, so we can get all these people out of the freezing cold Out of the sickness. Okay, 10. So now we need to get these buildings up. What happened? Oh boy, first amputation. Okay, we must do something about it. So we can't do anything about the laws now, but you can get a care home where amputees can have a place to kind of reside safely, and then eventually I can get prosthetics, which I want to do because I do cheat and know what's coming, and we're gonna need all the able-bodied men and women that we can get. Nice. Medical post improvements. Medical post improvements. What do we need next? Call me crazy. More scouts. There's a lot to get out there in the world, and I want to get as many. Hey, great success. Doctor is trying to true radical improvement is here. He's reported a breakthrough. It's certainly an unorthodox method. Be appalled by the experiments. Oh no. Well, we're just gonna ignore that statement, but it works. I expect the number of amputations during radical treatment to be halved. He seems eager to get back to his everyday work and try his new method. Well done. We take those. In this cold, apocalyptic wasteland, we take those. Little survivor, we did it! Save the children. The child has been saved. We pulled the child out of the ruins. He's the sole survivor of his family. He's badly burned and will die without proper medical attention, and we can't provide it yet. Well, we just got him out, so we'll have to see. Gravely ill. Thankfully, we have treatment that can potentially work to save the child. Hope will rise slightly. Good day. Good day. We take those here.